Hi folks, I'd like to first of all start by asking you all to share this video wherever you can. I want the people it's intended for to see this and hopefully respond in an adult fashion. You see, a couple of days ago, as you all well know, I put a video on my channel about Police UK's new YouTube channel. And due to the nature of this channel, I thought it would be a good idea for my subscribers to go and get their questions answered. After all, their whole video was about answering questions for the public. I know that a lot of people ask me questions that I am simply not qualified to answer, and so I can only give opinions, whereas Police UK would have been able to answer them. Or at least that's what I assumed. I have woken up today to find a copyright strike on my channel against that video for Police UK, which is also the National Police Chiefs Council. A copyright strike. Really? For a video used under fair use, which says I can use video for educational, critique or commenting purposes. A video which was linked to and promoting the fact that you are willing to, or were willing to, answer people's questions. And you put a copyright strike on it simply because you can't answer the tough questions without making an aggressive move. In fact, I feel alarmed, harassed and distressed because it seems that you have solely targeted me with what I consider to be a cyberbullying offence. I mean, take a look at this.
Hi, I'm PC Yan. This is the Police UK Instagram, no it's not, it's the YouTube. Hi, I'm PC Yan. This is the Police UK Instagram, no it's not, it's the YouTube. Hi, I'm PC Yan. This is the Police UK Instagram, no it's not, it's the YouTube.
These are videos that are still on YouTube, but you targeted me alone. I consider that to be aggressive, and as I've said, I feel alarmed, harassed and distressed at your personal attack on me. You didn't even answer a single question. You simply pulled the video and copyright striked me. And you wonder why the public are against you. You even changed the channel description to cover your own backs. And you blame the public for the removal of the video. Let's have a look at your new description. This channel is dedicated to helping young people across the UK find out more about policing from the police. We recently posted a video aimed at explaining the role of the police to teenagers. Unfortunately, it became a vehicle for a group of individuals to post their own messages. Therefore, we have taken the video down. Let's just break that down for a minute, shall we? This channel is dedicated to helping young people across the UK find out more about policing from the police. Now, this is new, because your description never said anything about young people before the questions started coming in, did it? Your video description, content and the channel description actually stated nothing about helping young people across the UK. In fact, it said who, what, where and why. What does a taser feel like? What do police do with evidence seized? What do police carry on their utility belt? What do certain laws mean? This channel will give you the answers. So why, when the questions start coming in, do you pull the video and go on the counter-attack? Also, you state, we posted a video aimed at explaining the role of the police to teenagers. First of all, it's completely grammatically incorrect, and it's an outright lie. The video did nothing to explain the role of the police to teenagers or anybody else. You simply asked for questions in the comments. And as for this, unfortunately, it became a vehicle for a group of individuals to post their own messages. Therefore, we have taken the video down. Wrong again, officers. The video became a place for what it was intended. Somewhere for people to post their questions and get them answered. And that's what was done. Questions, not messages. And you try to make out it's the public's fault that you pulled the video simply because you don't want to answer the real questions. I am disappointed with that bending of the truth that you are displaying here. On the streets, officers will shout, push, threaten, intimidate when they are faced with a question they can't answer. And you, as the NPCC, I thought would have handled it quite differently. But I guess, as many people say, it starts at the top. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there was a lot of tough questions asked on your video, but do you know why that is? It's because of the total disconnect between what was once a respected profession and the public. Yes, believe it or not, the police service was once respected and trusted. Maybe that was before your time, or maybe you have selective memory. I don't know. But what I do know is that when you allow new recruits to join the police force without adequate mental assessments, you end up with a gang of bullies and sociopaths who take it upon themselves to be like Judge Dredd.
It's a lie! The evidence has been falsified! It's impossible! I never broke the law! I am the law!
Police, judge, jury, and executioner. It's easy when you're at the top to not see what's going on in the lower ranks of any profession. This is why we have managers and team leaders. But your inspectors and your sergeants are ultimately overseeing this incredibly poor behaviour. And unless someone reports it, it seems to be basically swept under the carpet in a no one saw it, so it didn't happen, or it's us against them, who will people believe type mentality. I get that being a police officer is a tough job, and I have full and total respect for those police officers who do their job with diligence and integrity. But what I can't abide by is police officers abusing their powers and continually behaving in a manner that falls far below what's expected of them. Their poor knowledge of the law is laughable, and when someone who knows a little more about the law than they do, the officers take offence and get aggressive. The fact that the many police officers are free to use excessive force on a subject simply because they've let their emotions cloud their judgment, and are allowed to get away with it by simply shouting the words, "Stop resisting, stop resisting," and the fact that so many other officers will idly stand by and allow their colleagues to do this behaviour because they are afraid of the backlash of not backing up a fellow officer. It is simply appalling. If a police officer does something wrong, then as police officers, you should be arresting them and dealing with them. Waiting until a complaint has been made, rather than being the one to make the complaint, leaves those officers to continue their poor behaviour and even criminal activities. You have built such a wall between the police and the public that the public have no faith in you anymore. The lack of resources comment that's so frequently used should be made into a meme when you have plenty of staff trawling the internet looking for hurty words, or you have 2 or 3 or 7 or 8 officers going to a person's home simply because they have an opinion someone else doesn't agree with, rather than actually being on the streets preventing crime. No one is responsible for another person's feelings except the person who's having those feelings. You choose to be upset by someone's opinion, much like you choose or chose to be upset by my video and my comment. Not my fault if your skin is not thick enough to accept and answer some of the tough questions. I get it that you think I'm responsible for all of those comments on your video, but you know what? I simply told people to go and ask their questions. I never told anyone what to say. Those were all questions thought up by the public, and instead of responding to them, you pull your video and go into coward mode. I've had plenty of questions and comments that are abusive and threatening, and some I just don't agree with. In fact, I went to Bootle Police Station in Merseyside 6 to 8 weeks ago to report some comments that I believe to have been made by a police officer. And guess what happened? I'll give you 5 seconds to come up with an answer. Nothing. Absolutely nothing happened. I made a complaint. I was told an inspector would call me, and 6 to 8 weeks later, still nothing. And you wonder why the view of the police force is so poor. I didn't take any of the hurty word comments down or remove the video because Everyone's entitled to their opinions and views. And as long as their opinions and views aren't being physically forced onto another person, then who the hell cares? You prioritise hurty words over burglaries. You prioritise the closing down of free speech over assaults. And you wonder why there's little faith left in the police force. And before anyone watching this says that that doesn't happen, watch this short clip.
Yesterday, my campaign trail took us to Warrington. The footage you're about to see now will completely contradict everything you've been told by the mainstream media, all the journalists and the politicians about what happened that day. From the minute we got there, we faced violent opposition. You'll see now as a young Muslim agitator aggressively comes towards me and is held back. Twice. The women come with me, they point to the young Muslim gentleman, they point to him to say he's attacked them. The police officers at that point, they ask the police, we want him arrested. You'll hear the woman saying, if I assaulted someone, I'd get arrested. Why is he not getting arrested? And we see this so much. If a Muslim woman had been assaulted, yeah, the male who done it would be arrested. Here we have two females, innocent females, in a town centre have come under attack. They've been assaulted. The police officer, rather than dealing with it and doing his job to uphold the law, walks off. He leaves. You'll see as we follow him. Ladies talk to a female police officer and they explain to her they want him arrested. She gets in the car, they actually put the blue lights on to leave. You'll hear me telling the police officer, we have a large group of people who are being antisocial. I am on a campaign trail. I'm trying to run as a member of European Parliament. I have a right to do that. I should be protected by the law to do that. We have a group of people who have purposely turned up to intimidate and be violent. And the police have refused to do their job. They've left.
Two women have been assaulted. The man standing there, your officers are running away. The women are going up to him and said, he just assaulted me. Your officers are running off. They're actually another police officer come out and says, let's go.
At this point, the group have continued to harass us. I've even gone for lunch. When we've gone for lunch to the market, The group even followed us there. The police are watching all of this.
My personal life ever. How would you know?
So I go for lunch, I'm followed, I'm harassed. Any other organisation or any other political party or politician who was on a campaign trail, look what happened with Anna Sewsbury. She was called a Nazi. That man's been arrested, he's been prosecuted and taken to court. Every politician spoke out against him. I've been harassed so far. I've had a young Muslim gentleman try to aggressively get at me. We've had 2 women assaulted. I then come back and another young male, another young violent agitator who screams obscenities at me, then physically assaults me. I didn't assault him back. So this is the first time I've been violently assaulted by a member of the public on a campaign trail.
I've said if I'm elected 100%, my
Terrible racist cunt. Shut up, you. You don't know nothing, you bitch.
Did the police arrest him? I told the police he's assaulted me, I want to press charges. Was he arrested? No. Any journalists can check this out. He was not arrested, he was let go. Then, of course, if it's happened once, it's okay to do. I've been assaulted over the years so many times and nothing is done. The police have a job to do against everyone, evenly, equally. Everyone should be treated equal, okay? It's not okay to punch me, I'm not a punch bag. Then, a young female physically assaults me again for no reason. You can see I'm speaking calmly and nicely. I'm physically attacked again.
When you fail at school, you'll end up like that. Listen, Wally, listen at school, end up like us.
It's my fucking choice to be here.
What's on her chain is for the new Soviet, a fascist.
Oh wow!
You have a chain.
Show the chain then. Show the chain. Show the chain.
Show the camera yourself.
You got a fascist chain on.
You're a fascist. You're extreme. You're an extreme.
Are you going to bully me into it?
Wow.
Honestly, do you think I'm
boy,
scared of you? Do you think I'm Yeah, you've asked me that multiple times. No, you have asked me that. You have asked me that multiple times. And that is technically kind of harassment because I don't want to answer harassment.
You've been following me around all day screaming. You say that
I've not been spoken.
I spoke to you quietly.
And she's upset.
She came up to him. She came up to him.
I go up to the police officer, you watch the footage. I say, I want her arrested. She's physically assaulted me.
I'm dealing with that. It's not how you react. No, just...
Was she arrested? No, she wasn't. That's 2 people who have now physically assaulted me in a town centre on a campaign trail. The whole time we're being intimidated, we're being threatened, I'm being spat at. The whole time. I'm showing clippings of what has happened. This young Muslim agitator who's been present all day, screaming Nazis, trying to aggressively get at me, is then standing there. I'm standing there, I can see him. I go up to him, I calmly ask him, why have you been violent? Why were you jumping around aggressively all day towards me? At which point, he throws a drink in my face. He was overly aggressive, he was jumping around like he was going to do something. He didn't do shit. The only person you pushed was a woman. No, you was, mate. We'll show you the footage later. So you come here very aggressively, you got over it. And the whole world's seen that. A lot of people are having fun about it. Politicians are now laughing about it. The media are making jokes about it, okay? I didn't know at that time what he's thrown on me. I just know I've got liquid all over my face. This is the 3rd time I've been violently. That is an assault, okay? Someone threw an egg against Jeremy Corbyn's head. They got 28 days in jail. Everyone condemned it. But when it's Tommy Robinson, everyone's celebrating this, okay? Now you'd think I'm running as a candidate in an election campaign. It is not okay behaviour to violently attack me time and time again. But you wouldn't think that by any of the responses to what's happened today. The response is, now as he walked off, has he been arrested?
Can I ask you, of the people I gave you today that assaulted me, I handed them to you, you walked off with them, how many of them are in cells?
I haven't actually walked off with
Okay,
anyone.
your officers did, how many of them are in
I
cells?
don't know because I am not in contact with
None
the
of
ones
them,
that have gone to the
none
cells.
of them are in the cells.
So I don't know.
None of them. They've assaulted me 3 different people, none of them are in cells.
Yes, bro.
Yes, G.
How are you, man?
Respect. BB1.
Hey,
All the way.
did you even get nicked?
Nah, bro.
Yeah, man. Everything's blessed. Alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah. Lana shukar.
Not just this, but this has been celebrated by politicians, by Conservative MPs, by the head of the Daily Mirror. The entire mainstream media and journalists are celebrating the fact that in our democracy, so-called democracy, I don't have the freedom to go and I'm not protected by the law. People are allowed to physically assault me. This has happened time and time again over the years. The Guardian. Let's have a look at the mainstream media. Let's have a look what they reported on this case. They reported, when they interviewed the man who assaulted me, they reported that his milkshake slipped. They actually run this story, that it slipped. Let's watch that again.
He was jumping around like he was going to do something, he didn't do shit. The only person you pushed was a woman. No, you was, mate. We'll show you the footage later. So you come here very aggressively, you got over it.
Now, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with Tommy Robinson's ideas and views, as my political opinions are my own. But I do agree with the fact that he, like anyone else, should be entitled to be opinionated and share his views and ideas, just like every police officer and politician. As you can clearly see in that clip, assaults are not treated with the same priority as free speech. In fact, even female members of the public were assaulted and your officers did nothing. I wish there were more incidents where police officers could be commended. I certainly don't condone violence towards anyone, including the police, as I've said many times in my comments. But the only way you're going to get respect back is if you clean your house. The disdain many officers show to the public is abhorrent, but it's not the public's duty to change your behaviours. There are a lot of bad people in this world, and yes, generally the police are in the front line dealing with atrocities, unless of course it's Sir Craig Mackay, who we all know locked himself in a car as PC Keith Palmer was stabbed to death at Westminster attacks. Can you see how these actions get the response they do from the public? How can you expect fresh recruits to keep their integrity when they're learning from people with none? Anyway, no doubt this has upset you or somebody reading it, and I'll be expecting a knock at the door from the Thought Police, while some of your officers take paid leave due to the distress this video has caused them. And that's another reason the public have no respect. If you want to start getting some of that respect back, you could remove the copyright strike from my channel and actually spend some time answering the questions people put to you rather than hiding from them. I get that some of the questions may have been people venting their disdain at the police, but there were many good questions in those comments. In fact, I want to ask everybody who's watching this video to leave your serious questions in the comments below. And I put a call out to somebody at the NPCC to come here and answer them for you. Like I've said, I have respect for those who do their job with diligence and integrity. So anybody that has a question, please show that same integrity in your comments below. Say what you like on my other videos, but let's try, please, and all respect each other on this video in the comments below. And let's see if the NPCC, National Police Chiefs Council, is willing to step up to the plate and try and get some of that respect back by being truthful and transparent. Thanks to everybody for your continued support and for being part of this community. Until next time, see you again.